The Final Girls is a great example on how to do a modern day slasher film, and where you have the story of this young girl who is still grieving the passing of her mother, and on the 3-year anniversary of her passing, she decides to just let go a little bit and go watch the movie which her mother was in called Camp Blood Bath. However, while they're in the theater, a fire occurs. They have no way to escape other than going through the screen, so they cut right through it, they go into it, only to end up in the movie themselves. Now, the premise alone obviously very much intrigued me, and where it obviously felt a little bit like Friday the 13th. You also had a lot of meta moments, obviously picking up a lot of the tropes and references to 80s horror slasher films, and then literally ripping through the fourth wall. So let's talk about all the good, the bad, and everything else in between about The Final Girls. And I'll start off by saying that obviously I enjoyed the movie, but I enjoyed it because it has that perfect mix of being able to be meta, play on those tropes, but also be a good movie within itself, and where you have the campiness and then you also have the actual solid stuff in the film. For example, the acting. There is solid acting, and then there's also the campiness that they have when they're in that 80s film. You have the real world set of kids with the main chick being played by Thaisa Farmiga, which, yes, it is Vera Farmiga's sister. You then also have the guy who's played by Alexander Ludwig, who interestingly enough was also in an Abigail Breslin film called Final Girl, I believe, but don't get conned into watching that movie. Make sure you watch The Final Girls if you're searching it up. There's also the cousin from Arrested Development, Elena, and then also Pied Piper's very own. But then you also have the group which is within the 80s horror movie that they're in, and you have Adam Devine, who is not playing an 80s character, he's literally just playing himself, and then also Malin Ackerman, who plays Farmiga's mom. The film also does a great job of mixing that campiness along with the meta style that they have going on with an actual solid storyline, and where from the beginning you have some heart in the film, which is actually this girl trying to overcome the grief that she has. The film also knows the best way to do homages, and where not only do you have some beautiful color schemes that it obviously references back to old movies, you have some Sam Raimi type shots which I thought were beautiful, but you'll be watching the movie going, oh, I understand those tropes, and oh, I'm pretty sure I know what 80s reference that's supposed to be, and they do it in the best way possible. I mean, considering that they're in the movie themselves, anytime that the synth music is playing in the background, which is also really great, they are aware of it, and they know when the killer's coming just by the sound that's happening. And I thought that was really cool because within the movie is also a character itself, and that was really interesting to see because there's a lot of little gimmicks, like when they're in the movie, when they go into the movie screen, if they miss a scene to actually join the way that the movie's supposed to be going, they have to wait the 92 minutes until that scene starts again, because that's how long the movie is. The characters who also go into the movie are also playing off of the archetypes that they would be in a horror movie, and there's just a bunch of other little things that happen throughout that I found to be really interesting. However, as much as I enjoyed the movie and I liked it and can't wait to watch it again, there are obviously still some things within that don't necessarily work. And there's some conveniences that happen. Some of the things, before they even get into that meta world, when they're still in the real world, like they conveniently find a machete that someone brought to the anniversary of watching the movie. And even when they're in that world, there are some characters that know the movie by heart, yet they forget some things conveniently, or even the rules that they established, they kind of brush them off at points as well. However, that's not to say that the movie is still a fun time and has one of the best shots of the year, I would say, or personally one of my favorites, and where it's this beautiful slow-mo, color-corrected, fire-blazing shot towards the end of the film that I thought was spectacular. As always, however, I'm curious your thoughts if you were able to check out this film. It is on video on demand, so you can see it from the comfort of your own home. Definitely let me know down below what you thought about it, what references you were able to catch, and anything else having to do with this movie or film in general down below in the comments. And until next time, I'll be seeing you guys later.